All right, we're here with Anika, one of my OGs and hotties. Been with me since forever, basically since I
Yes.
started in a studio and now online. So, Anika, thank you so much for sharing your experience with everybody. I know it's going to be super inspiring for anybody that resonates with your story and where you were. And so maybe just introduce yourself and tell people like how many power through series you've done so far, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, sounds good. Hi guys, my name is Anika, and I am super proud to be an OG Zenhottie. I started Julia's classes about 3 years ago here in Toronto, and it was interesting because my journey with fitness has always been a little rocky, like for a lot of people, and it was nice to finally find something that I was able to do consistently. So yeah, I want to say like about 3 years ago, when I started your classes, and I started doing them in person, and then I started enjoying them. And then with the pandemic, things have been pretty messy, and I was starting to feel lost. I was like, what am I gonna do? The gyms are closed. And I've never been someone that really like watches videos and works out at home.
Yeah, listen, we all
But
had to kind of adjust during that time. I remember that conversation with you. So I guess tell people kind of where you were during that time, like especially with the pandemic, because I think like we all kind of experienced it one way or the other.
yeah, absolutely. I think that happened for a lot of people, people who are used to going to the gym or even, any kind of group fitness classes. All of a sudden people were just kind of confused. And I was one of them where I was like, I don't know how this is going to work, but I knew I had to figure out something because, not having fitness be a part of my life just like wasn't an option. And our winters here are rough, so it's not even like you can go for a run outside or anything in the winter.
Yes, I
But
remember.
yeah, so throughout the pandemic, so in the beginning, I wasn't really doing anything, and I could feel it. Like after, it had been a few months since I had done anything, and I was like, okay, like, something I need to figure this out. There has to be something where I can like get back into this routine of working out, and and then I think was it in September or end of August of last year that you had your first Power Through series?
It was like towards the end of the year for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, it was coming up, and I was like, okay, you know what, I need to do this. This is it. If I can get back into my routine, that's great. If not, what do I have to lose at this point? And I'm so glad I did, because honestly it was awesome. It's great to, like, first of all, the convenience. You're at home, you literally don't have to commute to go anywhere. Just, and it's the timing was great for me as well. After work, I was like, I would just get into the mindset, get into my workout clothes, like, hop over to my living room, put my mat down, and it was nice. It was nice to just have like a sense of community where everyone, we were all separated and isolated, but we were still working out online live with each other, and that was good. It really gave like some motivation. It gave me the kick in the butt that I needed to get back into working
Yeah.
out.
I don't know if you know this, but like that conversation with you is the reason that I added the mindset component to the Power Through series because I was like, I know exactly what she's going through. I basically went through the same thing postpartum, not pandemic. I already had gone through it, and I knew kind of what helped me to kind of get out of the stuck feeling, this funk that I felt like I was in, or like just like to get me this, just get me onto the mat, and like get me kind of moving, So yeah, I don't know if you know that, but you're like one of the reasons like I even incorporated that stuff. So what do you feel like at this point you've done how many you've done both power through series, right?
Yeah, I've done both of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
several times over, because as you know, Raf and I have been redoing them. I think we've redone the first one twice already over, and we've done the second one once so far. So
Amazing. And so you guys basically went, so that's great that you found like an accountability buddy like within the Zenhottie community. And it seems like that really has helped you just stay accountable and stuff. And you
yeah.
went from working out zero, right, to now how often are you working out?
I am working out 4 times a week right now, and I am about to crank it up to 5 from Monday when you start the next power through. So it's actually insane, just the transformation that's happened over the past year because like now on my rest days, I like go for a run on my rest days. And I'm like, who am I? I'm like, that's my rest day. I'm like still doing something, either I'm going biking or I'm going for a run. So it's just like, it's just crazy to believe. Like, I wouldn't have even believed myself if I told myself, a year ago that like you're going to be working out 5 times a week a year from now.
That's
So
insane.
it's been pretty crazy, and I'm glad you brought up like the mindset aspect because that's something that I've always found that is very unique to your workout and just your practice in general, not just the workout, because your work bye. um it's just been unique because your classes have always been, more than just a workout, at least for me. It's just, first of all, the community is just like everyone just like thrives from each other's, support and positivity. And we all have, one thing in common, and that's like, that will and determination to like better ourselves and really dig deeper, go further, and just like most of all have fun, right? But everyone is there because we want to be there, we're showing up to do the work, right? So I just love that. And then your classes have always been great because they don't only challenge me like physically but mentally as well, right? So when I look back now, I'm actually able to like, over the past 3 years, actually look back on this journey of doing, of being in a better mindset and being more healthy, both mentally and physically. I'm able to like actually, see that transformation over the past few years.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest change that I've experienced is kind of changing that what's the word I'm looking for, kind of like that shift basically in perspective from working out to kind of just get the benefit or just kind of look forward to the results, or like working out just to look good, lose a few pounds, have look good in the eyes of others, or what society says is is pretty or whatnot or beautiful. And that shift from going from that to just really working out for myself, working out to feel stronger, to feel healthier, to just feel good. And at that point I'm not really doing it for anyone else, I'm doing it just for myself, right? So that, I think that shift in perspective like really changed my relationship with fitness because all of a sudden I wasn't, I had finally like learned to enjoy the journey and not just the destination. So that for me is huge. Like, I feel like now I don't like beat myself up if I would miss a workout. I'm like, I'm gonna be right back on my mat tomorrow. So like, it's fine if I'm not feeling it right now. It's fine because I'm like working out is just gonna be a part of my lifestyle, going forward. So
That's
I feel like
incredible.
for me that's been huge, and that's something you don't always get from different kind of like environments. Like even just going to the gym by yourself, it's not always the same thing. So I think that sense of community really helps you get there.
Yeah. It's funny, like, I can hope that my method and stuff and like the way I bring the experience together, which is all super intentional. The community is like super intentional. The mindset part is super intentional. Everything I say during class and the way I set it up, I know that I put all the intention in there, but it only really means something if it really translates, right? And that's the only way I know it translates is when I hear from you guys, the Zenhotties, and tell me like this is what happened, So like honestly, just hearing this come from you right now is like it just makes it all fucking worth it. Sorry for cussing, but it just makes it so worth it. It makes it so gratifying. This is like what fuels me to kind of also keep going because I'm human too. I'm also putting myself out there and sharing with you guys what something that I know worked for me and I just feel that I wanted to share. So like the fact that you guys are also reaping those like benefits and like that just vibing high and feeling
Yeah.
good because it's really like the gist of it. Like I never really focused on the surface stuff as much as like all the marketing wants me to, and everybody that, hops onto my DMs and it's like that's what kind of they think they want. It's hard for me, right? Because it's like that's not how I see this
Yeah.
tool of fitness and everything else. It's a way to, really develop yourself and your mindset and things like that. So that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that and like just solidifying that this method is like is real and it works. And if you're willing to do the work, you
Yeah.
can have it too, like everything is there available for anybody. It's a
Yeah.
matter of being able to and wanting to do the work, which I never shy away from. You guys know that is always gonna, you
Yes,
know,
it is.
be challenging in some way or the other. What was I gonna say to you? So, and now you shared something with me that I was like, whoa, like, because even like I didn't even expect that. So
Mhm.
tell everybody what you shared with me, because that's like, that's like real lifelong transformation, which is my ultimate goal with everything that I do.
Yeah, so this part was pretty crazy, and it just goes to show that like sometimes the best things happen very spontaneously, like without really, they happen at the right time, and you kind of just have to wait for that time. So like for me, it kind of okay, for me, this journey with, like with this whole fitness journey that I've been on, it's never been just about fitness, right? The benefits that you get from, really taking care of your body and, being active, it just trickles into other parts of your life naturally, right? So when I started, working out, doing the power through series, getting back into it, I started, with the 3 times a week and then like 4 times a week. Um, it's just, that translated to other parts of my life, being active in general. And then, I was naturally eating better because, like it just kind of like, it's easier to do one with the other. You're not going to be like eating cheeseburgers every single day and like working out. So eventually, I was eating better. I was just being more active and just, living a healthier lifestyle. And then, that kind of brings me to like something that was pretty monumental for me. I got to the point where, was really starting to ask myself really difficult questions. And I was just like, I'm eating so well, I'm working out, I'm like reading, I'm really trying to learn new things. But then I'm like, I was smoking, and I'm constantly putting this poison into my body, but that's like going everything that I stand for, like it's going against this lifestyle that I'm trying to create for myself.
Identity that you kind of like stepped into.
Yeah, and I didn't even really expect it to affect my thinking about that in that way, but it did, because as soon as I started prioritizing me and my body, that was going to become a question sooner or later, and that was a reality that I had to face. So it's just crazy, but fitness was, you always say like fitness is a tool, and that's what it was for me. It was like literally the tool that helped me quit smoking, because it just kick-started like this chain of events for me, like this chain of lifestyle changes for me. And yeah, towards the end of last year, I was just like, you know what? It's a new year, super cliche, like, New Year's resolutions. But I was like, you know what? I'm feeling good. I'm working out. Like, like maybe I can just go give it a try. What do I have to lose? And then, I did. I was like, you know what? I'll just like, I'll try to stop. Like, what's the worst that can happen, right? And it's hard. I'm not gonna say that it's not hard. It's like, quitting smoking is just like one of the most difficult things, because, addiction is real. But yeah, and but when you can use something like fitness really as a tool, I feel like it can take you so far, like into areas of your life that you didn't even think that you would, want to reassess.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that's how things happen. That's how change happens, right? Like,
Mhm.
using fitness, you don't really, develop like big muscle, by doing one workout, right? It just kind of with time, you just start practicing, practicing, practicing. And with you, what you were practicing is just this new healthy identity of yourself. And you kept practicing that and you kept proving it to yourself day in and day out by showing up, eating better, doing those things, reading, feeding all of those wellness elements, so that that muscle just kept growing and growing till it got to this place where you're like, whoa, like this is a really heavy weight. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if I can lift this amount of pounds, and that's what you took on and that's what you did. And that's really how change happens. It doesn't go from, just doing one workout to stopping smoking. It
Oh
goes
no,
from
absolutely
showing up,
not.
showing up
Yeah.
until you get to this place where you're just like, that's not who I am anymore. This is who I am now. And that's how, you really have and are becoming the best version of yourself every single day. You are practicing literally what my mission is just practicing stepping into the best version of yourself every single day and every single day. Like,
Yeah.
like how,
Exactly. And I kind of think that's obviously, there's a reason that your practice, that you've made it like that and you've designed it that way. Is just like, it's not those kind of like one-time thing that you can do and really get any benefit from. Like you cannot just do like one class and be like, yay, I'm a new person. Like, no, it's about really that mindset change that takes time. It takes like every day of waking up and being like, this is what I want to do. And like, it's a habit that you have to work on constantly, and that's on, only then can you really get to that point where you can look back and be like, damn, I've come a long way. So for me, like fitness has always been that for me. And when I was in a kind of like in a shitty place, fitness was like always that thing that I could do, and it would always kickstart this change of events for me. So like it's been rocky obviously over the past 3 years, but I always find that like if I'm not working out for like an extended period of time and I'm not really prioritizing myself, like eventually I'm like, okay, like this can't go on. I need to like I need to just make that decision today and to like start this and really commit to it, and then it will get better. It always gets better, always. So it's one of those things you have to work at every single day for sure.
100.
But
It's
yeah, that's how I guess you're able to do other things, because you kind of doing the workout and like just doing that consistently, like eventually you learn that like you're able to take on more. And I feel like that's really where that change happens.
Yeah, you become stronger in every kind of sense, right?
But yeah, that just like brings me back to the smoking thing. It was just kind of like, yeah, it was just like it was crazy because I almost didn't even take myself seriously when I like made the decision. But it was those kind of things where I'm like, yeah, it's gonna suck, but like it is what it is. It's gonna either suck today or it's gonna suck like, at some point. Like if this is something I really want to do, then I have to do it. Like there's no, right now is a good a time as any, right? And I was like, yeah, it's gonna be uncomfortable, but like you always say, like I'm fucking comfortable being uncomfortable. I can do it.
Yeah,
So
I mean, like that's what it feels like to like level up, and I'm gonna be talking about this in the next Power Through series is creating that confidence, and really what that is like sometimes when people feel that uncomfortable feeling, right? And that's like such a big part of this practice and why I say it basically in every single class because that's really how life is. When you are reaching for more, when you're reaching for a better version of yourself, like day after day after day, because we're evolving human beings, right? So we're naturally going to want to reach for more, but you obviously want to reach for better things. It doesn't feel great, right? The glow up isn't really like it's not doesn't it's not as pretty as that word sounds, right? The glow up is the glow you get after you've gone through the shit.
yeah.
So that next step, like in reaching for that next step and reaching for that next level or reaching for that next little better version of yourself, even that 1% more, it doesn't feel comfortable. It doesn't feel great. It feels scary. It feels like you might fail. It feels uncertain. It feels uncomfortable, like to say the least. But if you can kind of push past those feelings, that's what gets you to your next level ultimately. And then, and so the next Power Through series is about confidence. And what I say is keeping, feeling those negative emotions and feeling that like little bit of fear is normal, right? Because it's just your brain kind of keeping you safe. But when you are able to, see them, feel them, push past them with some courage, turn that fear into courage and practice that over and over, that builds your confidence, and it just builds you, you're comfortable with that uncomfortable feeling. It's not to say that you're never going to feel it again, because you will. Every
Yeah.
time you reach for the next step, you're going to feel it, and you're just going to be able to say, that's okay. It's okay that I feel this way. It just means that I'm trying something new, that I'm being something a little bit different than I was yesterday. So it's nothing to, shy away from or be scared of or whatever. It's actually something to embrace. So being comfortable with being uncomfortable is more than just growing muscles. It's like growing into a better, bigger version, stronger version of yourself, right? So
Yeah. Sure.
yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because and yeah, you're right, exactly. Like that, this is it. This is what I like. This is my dream for you guys to just know that, and that's going to trickle into every place of your life. Not just when you leave. Step off your mat. So I love that so much. Thank you.
Yeah, and really, yeah, exactly. And I think that's what kind of makes your practice sustainable, is kind of just, focusing on the quantity rather than the quality, right? Because like for me at least, it needs to be something that I know that I can do, I can actually sustain. Like it cannot be like those, yeah, it has to be a lifestyle change. It can't just be like working out just to lose weight, because
Yeah, yeah,
that's a goal that's never gonna like, really make anyone happy, to be honest.
yeah,
Like you have
exactly.
to really enjoy the process.
People can definitely go elsewhere for those kinds of results, or people promising those quick fixes. I just don't think that it's how I want to spend my days, and how I want to advertise my practice, because it's just that's just a byproduct, right, of what it is that I actually believe. And because of course people can get those results. It's just that they're not going to be sitting here talking to me about their abs, probably. They're not. They don't, that's not probably going to be the biggest shift in their life. Is that they got abs. I think, and that's the point, right?
Yeah.
Anika, thank you so much for sharing all your amazing insight into this. If there's anything else that you want to share that we didn't touch on, no.
No, that's about it. I'm glad I was able to share, a little bit about my journey. Honestly, it's been great. I obviously, I want to thank you for the role you've played. You were obviously born to do what you do,
Oh,
and I'm just like super grateful, and I'll support you in whatever you do. You know it, because you're amazing and you're really good at it.
oh my
And
God.
yeah, and obviously Raf as well, for just like being my fellow Zenhottie, for being the best workout partner that I could ask for, and friend. And yeah, she's been like powering me through this journey, and it's been great. It's
Yeah,
always nice to have someone to keep you accountable.
yeah, you guys have been amazing, and yeah, thank you for, just sticking to it. Like, thank you for showing up for yourselves, and using the all the tools that are available with this practice, right? The community, the workouts, the coaching videos, all of it. It's all available, and it's just a matter of like, if you want it or not, right? And you guys are just such a testament to the fact that like it works, and it's just a matter of what you want, right? What do you want? And that's like just the ultimate question that not a lot of people get asked, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. And oh my God, I'm so proud of you. I'm just so,
Thank
like,
you.
I seriously want to cry right now, but I'm going to stop the recording before I do.